Let us embark on a unique journey, exploring people's intense experiences during spiritual sessions, highlighting the extraordinary moment of returning to the source. Prepare yourself for an emotional immersion that transcends words. During this spiritual journey, we witness human expression confronting the grandeur of experienced love. The difficulty in articulating such an experience reveals the unique depth of this return to source, highlighting the indescribable nature of divine love, a phenomenon that transcends the limits of conventional language. This return to source is not just a spiritual high point, it is an experience that leaves a lasting mark. It awakens the intrinsic desire to understand more deeply the transcendental nature of this indescribable love. It is the invitation to explore the realms beyond words, where the divine connection manifests itself in its fullness. Now, I invite you to dive into this spiritual journey with us. Discover the immensity of divine love, beyond the limitations of language. Together, we can explore the moments that leave lasting marks, providing a deeper understanding of the transcendental nature of this indescribable love. Let's go beyond words. Let's go beyond the conventional. The journey begins now. This link with the source reveals itself as a moment of ecstasy, where people, upon returning to the starting point, are enveloped by an incredible sensation. The experience not only reinforces the existence of this primordial source, but also highlights the difficulty of expressing in words the richness and intensity of the love experienced. This is a valuable insight into the elusive nature of spiritual connection and the central role that love plays in this return to source. Therefore, this subject not only highlights the unique experience of returning to source, but also underlines the complexity of describing the divine love that permeates this moment. This spiritual phenomenon sheds light on the transcendental dimension of the sessions, where the connection with the source reveals itself as a deeply meaningful journey for those who experience it. Dolores Cannon explores the fundamental origins at the source, conceived as the primordial essence from which everything originated. The crucial importance of this fundamental link that holds all the elements of existence together stands out. The emphasis is on the idea that, if this essential source ceased to exist, even for a week or a fraction of a second, it would result in the disintegration of the entire system. This link is presented as the foundation that supports the entirety of existence, underlining its significance in the balance and cohesion of the universe. Dolores Cannon explores the concept that every entity, object, and phenomenon has its origin in this primordial source, illustrating it as the unquestionable starting point. The fundamental link analogy highlights its importance as the cohesive element that holds all things together. In this way, this subject sheds light on the intrinsic essence of the source and its fundamental role in the coexistence and cohesion of all elements. In the journey of spiritual understanding, consideration of the evolution of God arises. Initially described as a colossal source of energy and light, God is presented as a pulsating entity in cosmic space. Dolores Cannon then addresses God's intrinsic curiosity, his quest for knowledge and desire for experimentation. This desire culminates in an explosion, comparable to the Big Bang Theory, dispersing particles that, in turn, give rise to universes, galaxies, and even human souls. As we turn to the essence of our existence, we are urged to recognize that each of us is a small spark originating from God. Sent with the mission to go out, experiment, and learn, we are charged with acquiring all the knowledge possible and then bringing it back to the source. This is the dynamic by which God, in his quest for learning, uses our experience to expand his understanding of the universe. It is important to understand that Dolores Cannon proposes the view of God not as a distant entity, but as an initial force, constantly pulsating and evolving. The Big Bang Theory here is interpreted as a pivotal moment in the expansion of divine knowledge. This subject invites us to reflect on the dynamic nature of spirituality and the intrinsic relationship between the search for knowledge and the act of divine creation itself. This evolution of God is illustrated as a transformation from a simple source of energy to a curious being eager for learning. In the beginning, God is described as a luminous presence, an entity of pure power pulsating in cosmic space. However, your intrinsic curiosity drives you to explore, to desire to understand and experience more. This relentless search for knowledge leads to the decision to explode, as described in a manner analogous to the Big Bang Theory, scattering fundamental particles. Dolores Cannon highlights the interpretation of this explosion as an act of cosmic creation, where dispersed particles transform into universes, galaxies, and human souls. Each of these manifestations represents a unique expression of God's ongoing learning. In this context, we are invited to consider our own existence as part of this intricate and expansive divine plan, in which God's evolution is intertwined with the purpose of our own spiritual journey. By understanding this dynamic, we are called to reflect on our relationship with the search for knowledge. The evolution of God is not a static process, but rather a constant movement towards the expansion of understanding. This encourages us to recognize that, by learning and growing, we are actively participating in this cosmic evolutionary process, contributing to the expansion of divine knowledge. Dolores Cannon continues to address the return of the experiences gained by these small particles of God to the original source. These entities, originating from the divine explosion, are like emissaries that go out to explore, learn and, finally, bring back all the knowledge acquired. This return to the source is described as a magnificent reunion, a state of ecstasy and indescribable love. The union of all these sparks, sharing their experiences, contributes to the richness of divine understanding. Continuing the exploration of the evolution of God, Dolores Cannon highlights the never-ending search for knowledge as an infinite process. God, by bringing together all the information brought by particles, uses this vast collection to inspire new creations. This cycle of learning, returning to the source and subsequent creation perpetuates itself, demonstrating the continuous and cyclical nature of divine evolution. It is as if each return to the source marks the beginning of a new chapter in the journey of learning about God. The analogy of particles as emissaries bringing with them accumulated experience highlights the uniqueness of each contribution to divine understanding. Each journey, each experience, becomes a brick in the constant construction of cosmic knowledge. From this perspective, we are invited to reflect on our own learning journey and how our experiences contribute to the broader picture of divine evolution. Finally, Dolores Cannon emphasizes that this process of evolution knows no limits. There is no end point at which God has learned all there is to learn. On the contrary, the search for knowledge is endless, reflecting the unlimited and eternal nature of divine evolution. This understanding inspires a vision of continuous progress, encouraging us to actively engage in expanding knowledge and promoting love in our own spiritual journey. Dolores Cannon further explores the concept that, upon returning to the source, this accumulated knowledge is used by God to continually create. This perpetual creation is fueled by love, the driving force that transforms experiences and learning into new universes, life forms, and cosmic expressions. In this way, God's evolution is not just an individual journey, but a cosmic collaboration, where each particle contributes to the ongoing divine creative process. As we understand this interconnection between God's evolution, divine particle learning, and ongoing creation, we are invited to reflect on our role in this grand cosmic scheme. We participate not only as learners, but as active agents in the construction of knowledge and the expansion of love that permeates the universe. This perspective highlights the dynamic and collaborative nature of spirituality, where each of us plays a significant role in cosmic evolution. Dolores Cannon now directs us to the transformative capacity of the human mind, highlighting self-healing as a feat achievable through the power of the mind. The report highlights experiences and sessions in which the idea that the mind has tremendous power is explored. Understanding that the human mind has the ability to influence physical health proves to be an underrated and often overlooked skill. In delving into the classes taught to teach this skill, Dolores Cannon highlights the beginning of these efforts in 2002. Initially aimed at hypnotists, the classes have expanded to include those involved in healing modalities such as Reiki and energy work. Shifting to this diverse audience resulted in better results as these students did not need to unlearn previous methods, allowing them to take an innovative approach to self-healing. The report highlights that, by understanding the power of the mind, it is possible to achieve complete control over the body and promote self-healing. This knowledge, although dormant for millennia, is now being reclaimed to empower people to reclaim their self-healing potential. Dolores Cannon emphasizes the idea that the mind, when understood to its fullest, can be a powerful tool for overcoming health challenges and promoting holistic well-being. The report delves into the nature of the sessions, describing them as experiences where people return to the initial source, to the divine essence, to seek healing. Some of these sessions are described as true moments of revelation, where individuals witness the ability to heal themselves. The report highlights that, by understanding the power of the mind, it is possible to achieve considerable mastery over the healing processes in the body. Dolores Cannon also explores people's reactions to this self-healing power, some even considering it a miracle. This reaction, although understandable, is situated in the context of human potential that is often underestimated. Understanding that the mind plays a fundamental role in promoting health sheds light on the importance of exploring and cultivating this innate ability. When reporting on the expansion of classes to different healing modalities, Dolores Cannon highlights the flexibility of this approach. Those who already have knowledge of specific methods do not need to unlearn, but rather integrate new understandings about the power of the mind. This openness to innovation and combination of approaches prove effective, allowing students to explore and apply this knowledge in their healing practices. In the development of Dolores Cannon, the revelation of the potential of the human mind stands out, which often remains unexplored. The sessions described not only illustrate the search for self-healing, but also highlight the mind's ability to influence not only the mental state, but also the physical one. The idea that the mind has tremendous power, often underestimated, emerges as a central theme, encouraging reflection on the intrinsic nature of human consciousness. Dolores Cannon, when exploring the evolution of classes taught over time, reveals a significant transition in the target audience. Initially aimed at hypnotists, the classes have expanded to include practitioners of various healing modalities. This strategic shift demonstrates the adaptability of the approach, enabling a broader audience to discover and apply the power of the mind in their therapeutic practices. By highlighting the positive results obtained by students who report experiences compared to miracles, Dolores Cannon highlights the importance of recognizing and valuing this inherent capacity. The understanding that the mind can be an effective tool in promoting self-healing inspires the breaking of paradigms and the deeper exploration of this underutilized potential over time. Exploring this power of the mind not just as a therapeutic tool, but as an integral aspect of the human experience, paves the way for a more holistic understanding of health and well-being. The journey of self-healing, guided by knowledge and conscious application of the mind, reveals itself as a promising path of exploration and human growth. Dolores Cannon goes on to highlight that understanding the power of the mind is not a recent revelation, but rather an ability that has historically remained undervalued. The exploration of these concepts dates back to 2002, when classes began with the intention of reaching hypnotists. However, the evolution of this approach to include a variety of practitioners of therapeutic modalities reveals the universality of this knowledge. The report emphasizes that the shift to a more diverse audience not only expanded the reach of teaching, but also provided more effective results. Flexibility of approach, allowing students to integrate new concepts rather than unlearning previous methods, stands out as a crucial aspect. This openness to innovation demonstrates that understanding the power of the mind can be synergistically incorporated into various therapeutic practices. Dolores Cannon highlights the importance of raising awareness about the power of the mind in promoting health and well-being. When describing the sessions where people experience true moments of healing, the report emphasizes that this capacity for self-healing is not a miracle, but rather a reflection of the unexplored potential that each individual possesses. This perception not only challenges conventional paradigms, but also inspires a redefinition of the relationship between mind and body in the search for a healthier and more balanced life. Dolores Cannon delves further into the dynamics of the sessions, highlighting that, in addition to seeking healing, these moments are characterized by a deep connection with the divine source. The description of the sessions as experiences where people return to their origin, to their primordial essence, emphasizes the sacred nature of this self-healing process. This intimate connection with Source not only strengthens the individual healing journey, but also highlights the intrinsic interconnectedness between the human mind and the divine. The report highlights people's reactions to this power, some considering it a true miracle. However, Dolores Cannon suggests that this ability should not be perceived as something extraordinary, but rather as a fundamental aspect of the human condition. Understanding that the mind has the potential to positively influence physical health challenges ingrained prejudices and highlights the importance of fully tapping into this inner power. In addressing the expansion of classes to include a variety of therapeutic practitioners, the report highlights the importance of flexibility in the educational approach. This adaptability allows different practitioners to integrate mind-power principles into their existing practices, contributing to a more holistic approach to healing. Dolores Cannon highlights that this diversity of learners not only enriches the educational environment, but also amplifies the benefits of practical application of this knowledge. By exploring the possibilities of self-healing and the transformative power of the mind, Dolores Cannon inspires deep reflection on the human capacity to actively shape our own health and well-being. Understanding that the mind is not just a passive instrument, but a dynamic force in promoting health, suggests a promising path for personal and collective evolution. Dolores Cannon moves on to explore the theme of connection with the divine and the presence of spiritual guides. This dimension of the human experience is presented as a vital element in the spiritual journey and the process of deeper understanding of oneself. Dolores Cannon highlights that connecting with spiritual guides is a bridge between the divine and the earthly, providing guidance and unconditional love. When entering the spiritual sphere, Dolores Cannon highlights the importance of recognizing the presence of spiritual guides on our earthly journey. These guides are presented as loving beings who wish to assist individuals in their spiritual evolution. Understanding that there is a benevolent force guiding each step offers comfort and purpose on life's journey. Dolores Cannon also explores the idea that connection with the divine and spiritual guides is not reserved for a chosen few, but is accessible to all. The account suggests that openness to this connection requires receptivity and a willingness to transcend the limitations of materialistic perception. This expansion of consciousness is described as a path to experiencing a richer and more meaningful reality. When approaching interaction with spirit guides, Dolores Cannon emphasizes that this connection is not a one-way street, but a collaboration. Spirit guides are ready to offer guidance, but the initiative to seek this connection and understand it lies with the individual. This dynamic highlights the importance of free will in the spiritual journey. Dolores Cannon explores the idea that connection with the divine and the presence of spiritual guides are fundamental aspects of understanding the human journey. When diving deeper into this topic, the view that spirituality is not an isolated practice, but rather a common thread that permeates all human experiences, stands out. This expanded perspective suggests that the connection with the divine is intrinsic to human nature, acting as a beacon to guide and illuminate the paths of life. When addressing the figure of spiritual guides, Dolores Cannon highlights that these loving beings are sources of wisdom and constant support. The presence of these guides is described as an inner compass, offering direction in times of uncertainty and comfort during challenging times. This intimate relationship between individuals and their spiritual guides is presented as a source of unshakable strength. Dolores Cannon also emphasizes the universality of this spiritual experience, stating that the connection with the divine is not limited to specific boundaries of faith or religious practice. This inclusive vision proposes that, regardless of cultural or religious context, the ability to connect with the divine is a shared expression of the human essence. This broader understanding seeks to transcend barriers and promote spiritual unity between different traditions and beliefs. Exploring interaction with spiritual guides not just as a source of comfort, but as an active partnership, highlights the importance of active participation in the spiritual quest. Dolores Cannon emphasizes that communication with spirit guides is a two-way street, requiring not only receptivity but also a conscious effort to understand the signs and messages that are sent. This collaborative dynamic between the divine and the human is presented as an enriching path on the spiritual journey. Dolores Cannon delves into an ocean of emotions as she explores the fascinating journey of connecting with the divine and the presence of spiritual guides. In this scenario full of magic, the experience of connecting with the divine is described as a true show of celestial lights that permeate every aspect of human existence. It is as if life itself becomes a symphony, with heavenly notes delicately weaving through the subtlest moments. Spirit guides are presented not just as loving beings, but as intrepid companions on our earthly journey. Dolores Cannon paints a moving portrait of these guides, highlighting their constant presence in moments of joy and challenge. They are described as invisible guardians, whispering words of encouragement when the journey seems steep and celebrating each achievement with us, making the spiritual experience a true feast of emotions. The vision that the connection with the divine transcends cultural and religious boundaries is presented as a refreshing revelation. On this spiritual stage, all individuals, regardless of their tradition or faith, are invited to participate in this cosmic dance. It is as if the barriers that separate religious beliefs and practices disappear, giving way to a spiritual communion where all are welcome and unity is celebrated as the essence of humanity. In addressing active interaction with spirit guides, Dolores Cannon paints a picture of conscious participation and intimate communication. The moments of understanding and interpreting the signs are described as an exchange of affection, where the language of the heart intertwines with the heavenly language. It is a journey not just of spiritual discovery, but of a deep connection that resonates in the innermost recesses of the soul. In this emotional show, the connection to the divine and the guidance of spirit guides are portrayed as the guiding stars of a Dolores Cannon epic. Each chapter is enriched by these elements, making life an ever-evolving masterpiece, where each experience is tinged with the heavenly palette of spirituality. Now, let's explore this connection with the divine and spiritual guides in a way closer to the heart, a journey where each of us is the hero of our spiritual story. In exploring the art of inspiring, Dolores Cannon suggests that each person holds the potential to be a beacon of hope and positivity for others. It's as if, by sharing our journeys, we can ignite a flame that illuminates not only our own path, but also that of those who choose to follow in our footsteps. Now, we dive into the deep waters of the power of authentic communication, a tool that transcends words and establishes genuine connections between individuals. In this exploration, Dolores Cannon highlights that true communication goes beyond formalities, delving into the unique essence of each being. When addressing the power of authentic communication, it is as if each word is a note in a symphony, conveying emotions, thoughts, and experiences in a way that resonates in the heart of the receiver. Dolores Cannon suggests that vulnerability, expressed sincerely, creates bridges that connect souls in a way that transcends the barriers of superficiality. Authentic communication is presented as a fluid dance between speaking and listening, a constant exchange that nurtures relationships and builds bridges of mutual understanding. It's as if each meaningful dialogue was a brick in building solid bonds, promoting a foundation of trust and empathy. In exploring the power of authentic communication, Dolores Cannon highlights that every story shared is an opportunity to connect with others in profound ways. It is as if, by revealing our true essence, we create a space for mutual acceptance and authentic relationships to flourish. The analogy of authentic communication as a dance suggests that, like two partners in tune, interlocutors can create a rich and meaningful experience through true dialogue. Each word, charged with authenticity, is like a step in the dance of understanding and understanding. We embark on a fascinating journey, exploring themes that echo the depths of the human experience. From personal transformation to authentic communication, each topic painted a vibrant picture of life's complexity and beauty. Just like the incessant nature of transformation, where each challenge shapes our being, the journey of self-reflection invites us to sail the inner seas, unearthing treasures of self-knowledge. Each wave of this journey leads us to new understandings, allowing us to constantly grow and evolve. Until the next video.